Episode 88 of The Actors Room. My name is Jeff Tarowski. Welcome back. In today's episode, a bit different. Its title is Phoenix Updates / Acting School. Something different. In the Actors Room, so sit back, relax, open up that nice beverage. It's a filler episode, but interesting. I hope you enjoy the show. All right, okay, welcome back. The Actors Room, episode 88, approaching 90. 2 more to go, 90 right around the corner this week. The show almost didn't happen, but I'm here. The show's title is Phoenix Updates / Acting School. Do they connect? That's probably what you're asking yourself. And yes, they do. First, we're going to update Phoenix. Both of them, actually. River and his brother Leaf. Oh, wait a minute. Joaquin. No, wait a minute. Leaf. Which one? Okay, I was kind of making a joke there, but for a while in his career, he was known as Leaf Phoenix. He was. His original name is Joaquin. That is his birth name. For some reason, his parents decided to call him Joaquin because he was born in Puerto Rico. That makes sense. But all of his other siblings are named River, Rain, Summer, and Joaquin felt left out. Wanted to be called something cool, like his siblings were. I agree, I'd feel the same way. And that's what Joaquin was feeling early in his life. So they kind of decided as a family that he could pick whatever name he wanted. This is the story. And he picked Leaf. And that's what he was called for a while. If you remember the film Parenthood and some of the early work that Joaquin did, you check out those credits, it's Leaf Phoenix. And I gotta tell you, I love that name. I wish he would have stuck with that. But for some reason, he decided, back to Joaquin we go. Joaquin it is. And what an actor he has become. And I've said it in the past. And those of you who listen to my show know that he is a perfect example of an actor throughout his career getting better and better every time you see him. I think he is a cutout example of that notion, that journey that some actors go through. And you think, well, all of them probably do. In a sense, they do. I think that's true. But for some reason, when I dissect this man's career, and he's been doing it for a long time, since he was a kid, a young kid. I mean, River started when he was really young. And Joaquin is younger than River. So there you go. That's his life. He has gotten better and better throughout the years. Check out some of his early work up into The Joker. What a career. And of course, he won the Oscar. I made a point on my show to make that bold prediction because it's not a bold prediction. If you've seen the movie, it's dark, it's creepy, it's interesting. But what a performance he gave, and it really wasn't a bold prediction. He was amazing in it. And deservedly so, got the Oscar. I mean, are you surprised? I wasn't. He deserved it. I mean, his career came all the way up to that point. He nailed the role. He got it. And he walked away with the Academy Award. And because he has gotten so much attention this past year for the Joker portrayal, we have seen a lot of Joaquin personally, which is something we haven't seen. He's kept himself private. He has. And I gotta tell you, I apologize if you hear background stuff. I'm gonna try to do better with my equipment here. My desk is right up against a window. And of course, during my show, there's activity outside. I've been walking around this house all day, and it has been quiet all day. I could hear a pin drop. But as soon as I do my show, I got people outside talking, starting up their cars. What is it? It's 6:30 on a Sunday night. Where are people going exactly? I never understood this too. I know I'm going to babble here. I'm going to go off the rails on my show. Wow, what a surprise. Personally, for me, Sundays are sacred. Not only is it God's day, right? The seventh day, he rested. That's what we should do, rest. Some go to church. They go to brunch. They spend time with their family. I hope they're resting as well. I think people are very active on Sunday because that might be the only day they have to catch up on shit. I like to spend my Sundays relaxing, catching up on laundry, doing other things around the house that I wasn't able to do. But I'm not one of those people that goes out on a Sunday anywhere. My wife and kids are doing a church thing, and they've been doing it on Sunday nights for a while. I don't know how they do it. I can't do it. A Sunday night? Are you kidding me? I gotta get myself mentally prepared for tomorrow, man. I got a whole week coming up. I gotta chill. And that's what I'm doing tonight, doing the actor's room. I'm chilling, man. Doing my show. Hopefully it's good. Talking about River Phoenix and Joaquin Phoenix. The Phoenixes. A fascinating story in the history of film. The whole Phoenix saga. They were involved with a cult, the Children of God, the whole family, since the kids were small, since forever. The parents were involved in a cult before River was born, and he was the oldest. They grew up in a cult, the kids did, and as you know, were hurt, abused, in many ways. We won't get into that. Check out my other shows. I have a River Phoenix show I did 2-3 years ago, my most popular show. And I did an update on Mr. Phoenix about a month ago, or 2 months ago. Had to, folks. His death was suspicious. You know it, I know it. And I hope to God that people who listen to my show know it as well. It was fishy. And I wanted to get to the bottom of it on my show. And in doing so, have contacted people close to River throughout time, and especially more recently. I did the research on my own years ago. And I had my suspicions just on my own. And then when I watch other things, read up on stuff, found that other people in the business feel the same way. Especially someone that was really close to River in his life, directed him, starred with him in a movie, My Own Private Idaho, and his name is William Richard. And I had a comment on my show on YouTube a while back when I did my Phoenix episode, The Update. And the person commented that I said William's name wrong. And I was like, oh wow, shit. She said that I pronounced his last name wrong. It's not Richard, it's Rickert. I said, boy, did I fuck that up. I thought his last name was Richard. I felt really bad about that because I say his name in the show a lot. And thinking, if I'm saying his name wrong, that's a disservice to William. I didn't say it wrong. And I know this. I'm not a moron. I know this. I don't know where this person got their information about William, but I've seen interviews with William when he says his last name. And I think I'm going to take that. Take the way William pronounces his last name. He said Richard, so thank you. I didn't fuck up. Anyway, it's William Richard, and he was close to River. He has said loudly that he thinks River Phoenix's death has a big question mark on it. Big one. And that's why I'm going to try to wrap up my obsession with this whole thing. I think it's a big deal. If River Phoenix died under mysterious circumstances, I think it should be talked about. Dissected, brought to the table, this table in the actor's room, for the last time. I'm not saying I'm not going to talk about it in the future. It might come up, but for now, this will be the final update of River and his death. And then in the process, I will incorporate Mr. Joaquin Phoenix, Oscar winner for Joker. Do you think Joaquin Phoenix did a better job than Heath Ledger? That is a point of question. And I know you're thinking about that. You gotta be. I am. I thought about it. Because Heath Ledger's Joker was so refreshing at the time. It was just so out there, crazy, spot on, truthful. And Heath Ledger reached a point in his career that he went there. And we bought it. I mean, he nailed it. And there are people that see Heath Ledger as Joker. Better than Nicholson's portrayal, which was hard to do, but Heath did it. How many of you out there still love Heath Ledger's Joker better than Joaquin? And you know something? That's all right. But who did a better job acting? I think that Joaquin's Joker was definitely deeper because it was totally about him, where Heath had a supporting role as Joker. So he couldn't really dive deep enough the way that Joaquin did. So me as viewing both of them side by side, I gotta give it to Joaquin. Under the simplest explanation, he had more screen time, more concentration of character in the script, in the whole project. Joker was his baby. Joaquin was all over that project. Losing the weight he did. Preparing not as hardcore, I think, as Heath. Heath went deep into research, locked himself away for weeks in a hotel room, and just lost himself in Joker. Did Joaquin do the same thing? I don't think so. He has a different way of preparing. It took him a while to get into that character. That's common, but he did. And I'm going to bring this up as well, and I have doing my Joker episode. Joaquin Phoenix, his acting got better in the progression of the film. Folks, I don't know how the hell he did that. And me, as a viewer of art, acting, film, I have never seen an actor actually get better. From the beginning scene to the last scene. I didn't think that was possible. Like, if you're good through the whole movie. You're just amazing in the whole fucking thing. It's pretty consistent. And for the most part, his acting is good, great, excellent from beginning to end, yes. But I saw it. From the very first scene to the last scene, I felt that his confidence grew. As it should have. And maybe that plays part in it. That he was so good, so into that character, that he gained the confidence necessary, not only in his character, but in his acting. Folks, it's monumental. Coming from me, I can't believe how far he's come. because I always consider the fact that River Phoenix was amazing, but he was taken away way too soon, of course. And there's no way in hell Leaf/Joaquin is better than him. He is. He should be, I guess, right? Because he's worked longer. His technique's gotten better. He's had more roles. Could River have reached what Joaquin has reached in his life if he would have lived? Would Joaquin still be better than River if River was still alive? I know these questions, right? Like, we're just making stuff up here. But think about it. If you're a big fan of River Phoenix, and I thought about this the other day, how would he have done as Joker? Folks, I think he would have done awesome. Would River have done a better job as Joker as opposed to Joaquin? I know, I'm throwing out all this shit. Like, we know this, but I love talking about this stuff, or just thinking about it. The beauty of acting, of film. And let's talk about Joaquin as a person. Because for a while there, I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen that much of him. It's private. He stays in the shadows. But he's come out recently out of the shadows with interviews on 60 Minutes and other things as well for Joker, given a lot of interviews. He has to. He gave one of the greatest performances of the past decade. And you got to know who this guy is. And for the very first time in a long time, he has to talk about River. He still looks very uncomfortable talking about him. And we're going to get into why I think he does. Folks, you're not going to fucking believe the information I received about 3 months ago. And I went, what? And I can't believe it. We'll get to it. But this information, I felt at first that there was no way. It was a rumor. Somebody made it up. And of course I had to look into it. And I did. And it was confirmed twice. And I felt, and I had to deal with it. We'll talk about it in a minute. I know, right? You're probably like, what the hell is he talking about? It concerns River's death. But we're talking about Joaquin and River. And now that Joaquin he's definitely on a level of greatness for his recent work. And because of it, we're now getting to see Joaquin Phoenix. What do you think about him? Boy, he's different. And most of these actors are. Folks, they're just different kind of people. They have to be. They have to live up in the clouds and then bring reality back down to them every now and then in their roles. But for the most part, they're in La La Land. And they are. L.A., Los Angeles, Crazy Town. Where you just stop, I don't know, existing in reality. I've been to Los Angeles one time. I was 17, 16. What a crazy place. It makes New York look like Kansas City. I don't mean to diss on Kansas City. It makes it look like, I don't know. I'm trying to make a comparison that New York and Los Angeles are two different places. New York is crazy too, but in a different way. I couldn't believe all the people in Los Angeles. What a place. And I couldn't imagine living there. I would think that if I was a successful actor, I'd be out there. And you'd have to live out there, right? For the most part. Man, I got a few buddies that live out there. And I kept in touch with them for a few years after they moved out there. And both of them have fallen off the face of the planet. I'm not joking. I haven't heard from them in years. Completely gone. It's very scary. What happened to them? Anyway, getting back on Joaquin Phoenix and getting to see who he really is. He's a fascinating guy. He's way out there. He's just quirky. But a different kind of quirky. Crazy quirky. But you could tell that this guy has been through, I don't know. His childhood was fucked up. I know that. That whole family is just so interesting. I think the way they live their lives is just so much different from like a normal life would be. Especially Joaquin, because he's such a successful actor. And his life is centered around doing film, and he's an advocate for animals, the environment, and he really does care. River was the same way, and his whole family too. But I think River really was a guiding light for that family in regards to saving the world. And he was kind of given that honor by his family. You're going to save the world, River. And when River passed, Joaquin has picked up the torch. Good for him. He's a vegan, and he wants to do all he can to put the word out there about how animals are abused. And they are. And that's something that I haven't done research on, and I'm afraid to. Because I'm sure the information I'm going to find out about that stuff that Joaquin holds very dear to his heart. And for good reason. I fear that I will never eat meat again. I love meat. I love it so much. I do. I'm afraid to look into that stuff because I know it's bad stuff. And there's a reason why some people are vegetarians is because of the way animals are treated. Joaquin Phoenix is an advocate of that. And I give him high respect for that. As a person, he's strange. But I like him. He's quirky. So what? He's a great actor. And I think he's a great person. I think he's been through a lot in his life. And he has used it in his art. God bless him, he has. And the interviews that he has given recently about River are very vague. He does bring up things that River would do to help him with acting. He really doesn't get that personal about his death. He doesn't want to go there, I get it. Who would? But I think Joaquin Phoenix feels that the death of his brother could have been avoided. Well, let's just say this. I think that Joaquin knows what happened that night. He was underage. Joaquin shouldn't have been at the Viper Room. That was illegal. I guess this stuff happens. And River, being such a big star, had his brother come along with him that night, Halloween night, to Johnny Depp's nightclub, the Viper Room. You have to be 21 to go into that place. Okay? Joaquin was under 21. Shouldn't have been there. I bet you he was drinking, smoking, having a good time. He knows what happened that night. Joaquin does. And I guarantee you this. He will never talk about it again. Unless it's with law enforcement. I think that's been done already. And I'll now reveal to you what I heard. It's crazy. It's messed up. I didn't believe it. And I still can't believe it. But let's get into it. The night of his death, River's death, he took a speedball drink, it's called. He drank it. A drink filled with heroin and coke. River didn't know what was in it. That I know for a fact. That's a fact. River didn't drink this knowing that there was coke and heroin in it. Can you imagine drinking coke and heroin? I can't. Somebody thought it'd be a good idea to give River a drink like that. At the Viper Room, a club owned by Johnny Depp. And he was in the building, folks. Johnny Depp was there as well. Some big names there. At the Viper Room, and that fateful night. Heroin and coke. What a drink. They gave this to River. Joaquin, I don't think, knew that was in the drink. I don't. He found out afterwards. Things happen. But Joaquin knew how sick River was after that. This is the point I'm trying to make. Joaquin didn't know that River was given a spiked drink. You know what? I pray to God he doesn't. I didn't find that information out. So I'm just going to say, from my point of view, in the research I did, Leaf didn't know. Joaquin didn't know. My thought is, it was the band member of the Red Hot Chili Peppers that put it in his drink. That's it. But when he got sick, he was really, really sick. More than just, okay, he drank too much alcohol, he's drunk. He was beyond that. And it was going on for a while, him battling this drink. This lethal drink, by the way. Why wasn't he helped sooner? When I look back at this, read up on it, talk to people, they ask that same question. The people around River weren't doing their job. That's what I think. What the hell were they thinking? Oh, he'll be okay. He was fucking dying. I think it was pretty plain to see. He couldn't handle what he put in his body. Something he didn't even know about. And maybe shame on River for not, I don't know if you can check or just knowing what he was drinking. I mean, I get it. You're at the bar, right? Someone gives you a drink. You're hoping and praying it's not going to kill you. But that's what happened that night. It's so messed up. So questionable. Why aren't people looking into this more? Is what I think. They put a stigma on Phoenix that he was this heavy drug user. And he just OD'd. There's more to it than this. He got really sick. We're back on that. I keep getting sidetracked. But it all comes together with this. It does. Because River was dying right before their eyes. He tried to walk it off. Tried to go to the bathroom, throw it up. Nothing was working. He couldn't get this out of his system fast enough. And he reached a point in the night where he lost his ability to just think of anything else to do. He got scared and he left the club and continued to be sick outside. And finally, thank God, they finally called 911. It took him way too long to do this, by the way. And shame on the people around him that didn't do it, say, 15 minutes earlier When River was like, there's something seriously wrong with me. Oh, you'll be okay. Uh-huh. Finally, they call 911. River is on the ground, on the pavement, outside the Viper Room. Johnny Depp's nightclub. And where's Johnny during all this? It's his club. You got some guy really sick. Maybe he wasn't notified? Or maybe he was singing on stage? I don't know. Joaquin finally calls 911. And you could hear this phone call. It was recorded, and Joaquin's freaking out. And he should be. His brother stopped breathing on the sidewalk, dying. And here we go. We're finally going to reveal the information I found out about, folks. I can't believe it, like I said. Joaquin calls 911. My brother's dying. Please come right away. And they do. They came pretty quick, within minutes. They were at Phoenix's side, trying to save his life. And at that point, he was still alive. He wasn't quite dead yet when the paramedics arrived. And here we go. This is what happened. The paramedics asked the people that were around River that night, and kneeling at his body right before he died, they asked the people around him, this is the paramedics, has this young man been taking drugs today or recently? More specifically, has he been taking them tonight? And their answer, Joaquin said, no. No. What? You and I both know Joaquin Phoenix knew his brother was taking drugs that day. He did. And the way River reacted off of the drink that he was given, okay, you gotta know. Something went wrong there. Because River even said, right after he drank it, and I'm talking about seconds after he took that drink, he asked the person that gave it to him, what did you just give me? Alarm bells should now be going off to everybody around River at that point, because obviously there was something put into that drink. Why did Joaquin Phoenix deny that River was sick because of something questionable that happened? I'll tell you why. Because of fucking Hollywood, man. Image. Joaquin and the people around him were more concerned about their image than the life of his brother. That's my opinion. And although Joaquin was a young, stupid kid, and he was at that time, he felt that protecting his brother's image trumped his health at that time. Now, Joaquin probably knows that his brother might die. He's dying right there on the sidewalk. If he would have told the truth to the paramedics, they could have helped River. And quite possibly, I'm not saying this is a fact or this could have happened, it might have saved his life. Can you fucking believe that? I heard that rumor and I said, no way. I don't believe it. Joaquin would have done anything to save his brother's life, man. He loved River with all of his heart. Still does to this day. I believe that. But he chose the Hollywood path that night. He had the Hollywood mindset. He wanted to protect his brother in that way. My brother is no druggie. I'm not going to tell him what he did. I'm not going to tell the paramedics or anybody that my brother takes drugs or did something that might have killed him. He'll be fine. The paramedics are here. They'll take care of him. But Joaquin, you lying. Lying. Straight up lying. Joaquin Phoenix lied that night. He lied. And in doing so, might have killed his brother, man. There were a lot of people against Phoenix that night. And I'm talking about River. Can you fucking believe that? He should not have died that night. It's such a tragic story. All around. And that rumor was confirmed. I lost my mind. And my wife brought me back down to reality. I talked to my wife about it a few days afterwards. It was bothering me. And she said, Jeff, Joaquin was scared. And she's like, he was a young kid at that time, right? I said, yeah, he shouldn't even have been there. She said, just think about what he was going through during that whole experience. He was losing it, losing his mind. Everything happening so fast. And she said, just know this. Leaf, Joaquin, he didn't have any bad intentions. He didn't. He was a kid, confused and scared. His brother was dying. And maybe he just wasn't thinking straight. He didn't give him the drink, and he didn't want his brother to die. But folks, although that did comfort me, for that few minutes my wife talked to me about it, and she did. She did. God bless her. It still doesn't take away that you have this image issue going on here in Hollywood. That at that split second, Joaquin decided, I don't care how young you are, you know right from wrong. You tell them exactly what they need to hear. Because the paramedics could have gave River some sort of medication or drug that would have helped him get through this. I mean, shit. They catch that early enough, River Phoenix would be alive today. No wonder Joaquin never wants to talk about it. And I get it. Who wants to talk about their brother dying the way he did? What a tragedy. But it could have been prevented. Think about that. In the actor's room, putting a bow on this topic. Chew on that. Like a dog. And that hurt, man. Hurt me. And I'm hurt by this. I really liked River. What do you think about that? The audience. When you hear that Joaquin did that. I didn't know that. Did you know that? That Joaquin lied to the paramedics about his brother? That's big. It's huge. And even the people that I got in contact with about this and confirming it really didn't want to talk about it. They're like, yeah, that's true. I said, well, you weren't there, right? And then they gave me the person that was there. And it was confirmed again. Folks, there you go. Is it a big deal? It is a big deal. It's a big deal. Hollywood. Fucking Hollywood. Holy shit. So let's hope and pray that I have said my piece on this matter. And I think I did. I think I did. And I don't think that Johnny Depp had anything to do with the death. By the way, a lot of people do. Telling you. A lot of people do. They think Depp sacrificed Phoenix. There are people out there, and I'm not talking about a few. How crazy is that? That notion, that theory. And I know Johnny Depp is questionable on a lot of levels. I haven't dived deep into him just yet. I will, folks. I will. I'm scared. What if I do my research on Depp? Diving deeper into that whole thing. And I find out things that happen in the Viper Room. I doubt it. I've done so much research on the Viper Room. I don't see it. He owned the place. He felt responsible. Him and River really didn't get along that much. They did. They knew each other. They posed for pictures and smiled. But that's where it ended. Johnny Depp was scared. He owned it. He felt responsible in a way. He bolted right after that. After the death of River, he fucking left town. It's so fishy. And people believe he had a hand in River's death. I don't. I didn't find anything. I had my suspicions because I don't trust Depp at all. I don't like what he's involved in. I just don't like the way he's changed. And I get it, Hollywood will change you. But he changed a lot. So I don't believe that. It was just unfortunate, the whole night of River's death. All right. I'm looking down. 40 minutes have gone. Out the window. Talking about the Phoenix people. Those Phoenixes are just... wow. They're wow. Talented bunch. And I didn't know River's dad, John, passed away quite a while ago. And I also found out this too, that before John passed away, he divorced River's mom. I forgot her name. She was there at the Oscars with her son. Joaquin brought the whole fucking family. I mean, that's how close they are. The whole family was there. And even 60 Minutes interviewed the whole Phoenix family. And I'm talking about extended family too. What the hell is River's mom's name? Oh my God. It was Jochebed at one point. She changed her name to Jochebed. And I'm forgetting her real name now. Arlen. Thank you. I love the way things just pop in your head. Like you're not even thinking about it. Like if I really concentrated on it, I wouldn't get it. But once I kind of let it go, it pops right in. Arlen Phoenix. What is it about her? For me, I don't know what it is about her. She seems like such a sweet, I mean, just down to earth, and she is. She just seems so sweet. Why don't I buy her that much? There's something about that lady that bothers me. I read people pretty well. I'm talking about adults. I can read adults pretty fucking well. Kids? No. I can't read kids at all. I think I got a firm grasp. I'm talking about like personality and like how they are as a person. I think I know kids, certain kids, and I am so completely wrong. Like every time. Every time. But adults, I'm pretty fucking good on where, like, their makeup. If they're shady or not. That sort of thing. I could just tell. There's something about Arlen Phoenix. Am I the only person that feels that way about Arlen Phoenix? It's like she has agendas. Doesn't it? And she just loves show business. She loves it. Now, she doesn't want to be in it. But she loves the fact that her kids are. I mean, she just relishes in it. I believe that for sure. There's something about her that bothers me. And I don't like the fact that I feel that way. I think her kids are just phenomenal. Phenomenal. The things those kids have been through. Okay? And I don't think she's been the best mother. And John, their father, wasn't the best dad either. Joining a cult. They treated the kids like fucking slaves at one point. That's from me. That may not be true. But mom and dad, they didn't really work that much. And they sent the kids out on the streets, singing and dancing to bring in money. I didn't like it. I think it's garbage. Okay? Arlen has been riding the coattails of her kids for a long fucking time. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's what kind of bothers me about her. And it just continues to this day. But I found out that she divorced John, the father, before he died. I thought they were together. They got divorced. I don't think John was easy to live with. Okay? He was an alcoholic, just completely different from like everybody else in the family. And they got divorced. That was news to me. I didn't know that. And she's married to somebody else. She married a young guy. She did. He looks, when they got married, I'm talking about Arlen Phoenix. After she divorced John Bottom, she married another guy. And he looked about 30 years younger than her. I should have looked it up. The age difference between Arlen Phoenix and her husband, it's a wide margin. And that's rare. Usually it's older guys and younger women. Not all the time. I guess good for you, Arlen. Good for you. He's a good looking guy. But she was old. She was kind of old. All right. I'm rambling about Arlen, but you know, I could talk about the Phoenix situation. I don't even know for how long. It's like I just have this weird fascination with that whole thing. I mean, look at Joaquin. He's huge now. He's huge. Considered to be one of the best actors working today. Am I wrong? And River Phoenix to this day is still just admired, drooled over. To this day, I've done many actors, highlighted many actors on my show, The Actors Room. And River Phoenix is my most popular episode. You would think Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Daniel Day-Lewis, Robin Williams would be, more popular than River Phoenix. No, not even close. What is that? Even Heath Ledger. I did an episode on him. Not even close. How do you explain that? I can't. River's been dead since 93. Yet, he is more popular than Robert De Niro? I guess it doesn't make sense to me. I found him fascinating, yes. We were around the same age. We had things in common, but what is that? I can't explain it. What did these Phoenix people have? What is this special power they have? Or knowledge? Do they have a special knowledge about stuff? Like the special thing that they got? Like they all sit around in a big circle, the whole family, and they chant. Is that what they do? They got the incense burning. I could see that. They're all sitting in a circle, right? But Ben Affleck's brother, Casey, right, is married to one of the Phoenix kids. I think Summer, don't quote me on that, but Casey Affleck is in the Phoenix family. Is he sitting around this circle? They're all just chanting and, "You're amazing. More Academy Award nominations, more work. I guess it works. I know I was sad. This is a Phoenix update / acting school. Not anymore. Unless I talk about acting school, maybe I'll just talk about it for a few minutes. So it makes sense that the title of my show is that. I got kind of loud there for a minute. I'm looking at my decibels here. They went up there. My microphone might be in the wrong spot. I don't know. I'm still learning about this. I hope I'm doing an okay job with explaining this whole situation, and I'm not everywhere just being an idiot. But I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the people that are listening to this, what I found out, it really is unsettling. And the things that I'm finding out that pertain to the business of show are they're disturbing. I mean, before I started the show, I listened to acting stuff all the time. I have my true crime stuff that I love, but I listen to acting stuff. And there was an interview that Robin Wright, I can't say her name, Robin Wright. She was in House of Cards with Kevin Spacey, and they asked her about Spacey after all the shit came out. And I just did a Spacey show not that long ago, and I really didn't look into Robin Wright and what she felt about Kevin Spacey and that whole situation. And she was asked about it in an interview, and boy, did I hear just garbage. Just tiptoeing around garbage piles by Robin Wright about Kevin Spacey. If anybody is going to know Kevin Spacey a bit, it's her. They spent a lot of time together on that show. It wasn't a movie where you're in and out. You may spend a few months together, depending on what film it is, but you're really not going to know them unless you guys hit it off or you know each other in the past. Listen to Robin Wright talk about Kevin Spacey and if she was suspicious of him and what she felt about the whole situation. She said, I really didn't know the guy. Okay, that might be true. They didn't go out for coffee. But they worked together. I'm sure they got a little close. She wasn't suspicious, she said. Bullshit. She knew about Kevin Spacey and how he acts and treated people on set. She's not an idiot. Robin Wright, you are no moron. But after that interview, I think you might be. How dare you try to protect him now? Who are you protecting exactly? The way he treated people on set? Oh, he turned it off around you. Give me a break. It makes me angry that even she is tiptoeing around the situation. Be honest. Instead of being honest in front of the camera in your roles, and you're damn good at it, Robin, you're a tremendous actress. But what the? You can't be straight up honest about Kevin Spacey? Then I can't believe anything you say. Offset. Nothing. Tell the truth. She couldn't do it. And it goes to show you about the business of Hollywood. And I'm not going to get to acting school. Ain't happening. So this episode is Phoenix Update Part 2 or whatever. I'll figure it out. We'll talk about acting school some other time. I really got into the River Phoenix thing. It just happened that way. I didn't think it would last this long. And I mean, I don't know. Should I do an hour and a half show? Maybe I will. We'll see. If not, whatever. But hearing Robin Wright talk about that thing, and I see red, man. And then I'm thinking, would I do that? If I was an actor and asked about it, and I knew Kevin Spacey was a piece of garbage, would I cover for him? Would I be that person, that actor, and say, I really didn't know the guy, and I didn't see anything? Like, she didn't come right out and say that she didn't see anything, because you know she did. She did. Wow. And this is going to give you my point, or the point I'm trying to make about this, is that what Joaquin Phoenix did that fateful night is a Hollywood problem in the business. Joaquin felt that he was protecting River that night, and in doing so, I think harmed Phoenix even more. I mean, he was dying, and Joaquin made a fateful mistake that night. And I think that it's so bad that this image thing, Robin Wright, are you protecting your image in Hollywood? Because she feels that, okay, I'm not going to give him the whole story. I'm just not. Because I don't want to piss anybody off. Huh? What? How weak are you, really? John Bernthal had no problem at all saying how big of a dick Kevin Spacey was when he worked for a short period of time with him. Weeks. And he was like, this guy's a fucking asshole. That was only a few weeks on a movie. You're telling me Robin Wright? Come on. Goes to show you the way people are at face value goes a long way with me, man. She disappointed me. Do I look into things too much? Like, oh, she gave an interview and she didn't want to reveal certain things. Big deal. You probably would have done the same thing. Would you have, though? Knowing what kind of a asshole that Spacey was? I gotta let that one go, too. Can you tell I have a problem letting go? I can't even let go of this show. It just keeps going and going. It'll never end. I hope that I help you in your drive home from work. Like, you put this show on your drive home, the commute, or to work, I don't know. Just passing time. And I will shut up eventually in the actor's room. I had to bring up those few things. And we're going to summarize this episode. The Phoenix family. Extremely talented, but extremely weird. I think that's been confirmed, man. Joaquin's really weird, isn't he? You saw those interviews with him, right? Those of you who've seen the interviews. His acceptance speech getting the Oscar and the Golden Globe were very good, though. I liked the way he pointed out all of the other nominees and just said great things about him. Joaquin Phoenix is a good man. He's a bit strange. His mannerisms are strange. His answers to certain questions don't make sense, but do. What you see from Joaquin, that's him. It's weird. But his acceptance speech, well done. What a guy. What an actor. What a talent. I mean, he is, and I said before, he's getting up to the plate now. He gets that bat up there. If he takes a rip at it, it fucking leaves the yard. It's leaving the ballpark. Good for you. Great speech. So, part of that summary is, Phoenix stuff. Updates, Oscar, good job. And then River's death. How questionable it was. It was. So we talked about that, probably for the last time. And there might be some people going, talk about it more. What else do you know? Or, I can't wait until Jeff lets it go. River Phoenix is dead. He ain't coming back. Let it go. And I will. And then I talked about the business of show. That will always be a theme. It will. It's shady. You know it, and I know it. It's a business. And just like any other business is shady as well. The big stuff. You know it. But there's something about Hollywood. It's almost like they feel they can get away with anything. And sometimes they do. My mind is starting to go blank because I think I reach a certain point that it shuts down. It gets overloaded with information and it just shuts off. Thankfully at the right time because we are an hour in. I filled an hour. I can't believe I did, but I did. With a River Phoenix / Joaquin Phoenix update in the actor's room. Episode 88. My name is Jeff Tarowski. Support the fucking show. 16 reviews on iTunes. And it has been 16 for a while. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to place my energies into YouTube. I'm going to do homework on it. And I'm going to tinker around with YouTube. The last episode I did was a documentary. It's getting hits on YouTube because people might be looking up Diane Schuler. And it's in my title. So it might pop up. Pop up. I think I said it right. It just sounded weird. Pop up. It pops up. People are looking for documentary stuff. That's a fascinating story. So my last one about the documentary is getting more hits than Christopher Walken, Mickey Rourke combined. I have like 45 hits, and it's only been a week. 45 hits. And other hits on YouTube are like 8, 9. People listen to my show on iTunes, mostly, or the website. YouTube is an untapped resource, and I think it has a lot of potential. I just don't know how to use it. No clue. Just like Twitter. Mystery. Not anymore. I'm going to hunker down. There are classes you could take on YouTube. Gonna do that this week. I have a few projects lined up this week. I'm helping my dad with business cards. I'm designing it, printing it, all that stuff. So I got that to do this week, and I'm gonna do some research on YouTube. See what happens. I hope you're having a great day. This weekend was filled with pain. I've had a headache for like 3 days straight. And it's getting to the point where I've just shut it off. I don't even feel it anymore. I took sinus pain relievers. I've taken Dayquil. I'm all hopped up, folks. And over-the-counter drugs. I can breathe. Whoo-wee. I hope I can sleep tonight. I'm going to sleep like a freaking baby. I'm going to conk out probably around 10, maybe 11. I stay up late. I'm a night owl. I've always been that way since I was a kid. I drove my parents crazy when I was 10 years old. I never wanted to go to bed. They would send me to bed at 9 o'clock at night. I'd be lay there till 9:30. restless. Thinking I can't go to sleep, I'd sneak out into the hallway, peek my little fucking head around the corner, and then just bring up the courage to go out there in the kitchen and confront my parents. Mom, Dad, I can't go to sleep. And then my dad would be like, go to fucking bed. And I did. And I'd lay there for half an hour and then creep back up again, doing the same thing. And again, my dad would tell me to go to bed. Oh, this continued. And by the third or fourth time, my dad would lose it. Of course he would. And that's what I needed. I wanted that yelling. Isn't that nuts? Kids are crazy, but sometimes kids need that. And by the third, fourth time, my dad would explode and just shout at me, yell at me, go to bed. And if you don't, you're in big trouble. I'm like, oh, okay. And I would go to my bed and fall right to sleep. Maybe I should call my dad at midnight tonight. He's retired. He's out in Florida right now in his big RV. I'm like, Dad, I can't go to sleep, man. He's like, Jeff, leave me alone. I'm trying to go to sleep myself. All right. And I call him like 15 minutes later. Dad, I can't go to sleep. And by the third time, he'll scream into the phone and I'll peacefully pass out. My dad does that to me. He's a good man. He is. And God bless him, retired. He's in Florida, beautiful weather, where we're freezing here in Cleveland. He's like, I got to get out of here. Bye, Dad. He'll be back in May. He'll be back for the summer. He's got it all planned out, man. When it gets cold, he is gone. He goes to Florida. All right. So a shout out to my father. I don't think he listens to the show. But if he is, hi, Dad. And my mom. I don't know if my mom listens either. She might. She might not. But Mom, if you're listening, hi. How are you? She had a rough weekend as well. My stepdad was really sick. And they had to go to the ER twice this weekend. That's no fun. That is no fun. So, shouting out my mom and dad. They really are two great people. They are. I couldn't have asked for better parents. They really are. Tremendous. They're both different kind of people. They really are. But they're tremendous parents. Tremendous. I hope I can live up to that with my kids. And here I am talking about kids again. Well, they're a big part of my life. But I got to let this show go. I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to rest. I'm tired. And I need to rest for this week. It's going to be a busy week. A lot to do. I need my rest. I hope you get rest too. Take a load off. You deserve it. You've been working your ass off, right? Every day, forever. That's what it feels like sometimes. Take in a movie. Go to lunch. Relax. Put your feet up. Have a drink or two. Do it. Boy, you deserve it. You work hard. You care for your family. You care for your grandkids. You just care. And sometimes it takes a lot out of you. I know it does for me, and I'm going to try to relax tonight. So, thank you once again. Tune in next time. I have an actor I have been researching for about a week. Not done with him yet. I will continue with that as well. Hopefully, I'll get it next week. If not, it'll be in 2 weeks. I might have a filler episode next week. Maybe acting school. Those of you who are interested in listening to a episode on that, talking about acting classes, New York City, my take on the whole thing in the early stages of any actor's career, how it goes, what happens, what's the process, what's acting school like, what are the teachers like, your classmates, what's the process of an audition, what do you do to prepare, what are they like, the callbacks, things like that, getting a show, acting in a show. What does that entail? Like, I produced a show in New York, off Broadway. What does that take? What was that experience like? Was it worth it? If you're interested to hear all about all that stuff, if you give a shit, who'd you see on the street? Who'd you meet? Who'd you talk with? Who's nice? Who's not? What stuff have you seen? I thought I'd like to talk about that stuff. And I'm sure my brother has stories too. He does. And he always felt, Jeff, don't do it. Nobody gives a shit about acting school. You might, I do, but who else does? You might be surprised. There might be people out there that might want to hear about it. And if not, they can skip it. But I might do that next week. All right. May you have a great night. Have a magnificent day. Hold your kids. Tell your spouse you love them. God bless you. Have a good one.